Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the University of Texas at Austin Online Paralegal Certificate Program Information Session Webinar. That is always a mouthful. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Stephanie Plowman. I am Program Coordinator on the development end for the UT Online Paralegal Certificate Program. With me this morning, but muted at the moment, is Vina Hoser from University of Texas, Online Program Coordinator. And what we are going to do today is talk about the online paralegal program at UT, the paralegal profession in general, and then get into specifics of registration and financing and all of that good stuff. Now, just one housekeeping matter that I want to bring to everybody's attention. This system is very, very sensitive and picks up all sorts of background noises, which is why I've even muted Vina, who is a panelist. But all of you are muted right now because, again, background noises will interfere with the presentation. We want to make sure you're able to hear everything and just get a clear listen and clear view of the program. So with that in mind, we are interested and always ready, willing, and able to take your questions. So please do type your questions into the questions box that you should see on your GoToWebinar toolbar. When you type those questions into your questions box, they will pop up on my screen and I will be able to read them out loud, and either Vina or myself will handle the question. Now feel free to type your questions as we are going through things this morning. If there's sort of a reasonable break in the presentation, we will take the question at that moment. Otherwise, we will answer it at the end of the presentation and certainly open the presentation to questions at the end as well. So with all of that being said, let's get started. Now, the online paralegal program at University of Texas is a one-year intensive program that consists of two core components. The first component is your essential skills class, and that's an introduction to the law. Legal writing, legal research, courthouse structure, legal terminology. You will be, I was going to say assigned, but you are generally able to choose your client. You will be able to choose a client who you will be working quote-unquote for the duration of the program. In your essential skills books for that particular class, there are a series of 40 or so different fact patterns and clients. You will review those and discuss with your online instructor and choose one of those clients to, again, quote-unquote, work with for the duration of the program. So all of your writing assignments will be based around that particular client, from early writing assignments such as a demand letter, an interoffice memo, all the way up to a summons and petition, to discovery demands, and a summary judgment motion. You will also learn legal research in your essential skills class. You will be provided with both Westlaw and Lexis codes so you can research online. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more as we get further into the program. For essential skills, you will have several writing assignments that you will have to submit. You will have several exams that you will take, and you must pass essential skills with a cumulative of 70% or higher once you have submitted all of your work. And again, we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get to the end, towards the end of the session as well. Now, in addition to essential skills, you will study two substantive areas of law. You can see here there are 5 areas that are set out for you, so you can choose 2 of those 5, tort law, contract law, criminal, family law, and business law. So whichever ones pique your fancy, you may choose those as your substantive classes. Some students, come in and know exactly what substantive classes they want to study. Others, aren't sure yet and kind of want to get a sense of what the classes are all about. Certainly, you can discuss your goals for the program and your goals also for working as a paralegal with your instructor in determining which two substantive classes will be the best choices for you. Now, for your substantive classes, you will submit 2 writing assignments for each and also take a final exam for each. Just like essential skills, you must pass your substantive classes with a cumulative 70% or higher. Now, obviously, it's an online program, so there is a huge online component. And with that in mind, we have an amazing website that will assist you as you are working through all of the materials in your book. Now, that website is called paralegalspace.com. We are looking at the login page right now. Once you have registered for the program and you are ready to go, you will receive a welcome with a paralegalspace.com login and your online instructor information. Now, when you log into Paralegal Space, this is what you will see. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you will see a whole series of links, textbook order link, syllabus, which will have your program and substantive course syllabi posted, support for all of your classes right here. Also, announcements, resources, online exams, assignments, gradebook, etc. All sorts of things here on the online track in the online program for you on Paralegal Space, and we're going to take a look at some of these pages right now. Now, all of your assignments will be available to you online. You will submit your work online on Paralegal Space, and your instructor will pull that assignment, comment upon it, return it to you with a grade, all done on Paralegal Space. So you can see right here all of the assignments in this particular online track are already laid out, so you can take a look at those whenever you want to see what, if you already know that you are going to take torts, you can take a look at the tort law assignment before you even get to it and get a sense of what you will be doing. But all of your assignments are submitted and posted here on Paralegal Space. Again, we'll talk about this a little bit more as we get further along, but obviously it is an online program, so the it's the online component is the component. You do want to make sure that you have a computer that is reliable, that you don't want to throw out the window, that isn't going to crash on you every 5 minutes. Also good internet access, of course, and also just be comfortable online, navigating online. Working in different browsers, attaching documents, things like that. Just, definitely make sure that you are comfortable with that online component and navigating on the website. Now, in addition to posting your assignments online, you will also take all of your exams online. Your exams, you can see all of them right here. They're all ready for you when you are ready to take them. Now, you're only allowed to take each exam once, as you can see here, only once, except the intro exam. That's a practice exam. You can take that as many times as you want. But for the exams that count towards your grade, you're only allowed to take those once. So, please do be sure when you are getting ready to take an exam that you're ready to take it. When you take the exam, the site will auto-grade it, and you will get instant grading gratification to see your grade and have it posted into your gradebook on Paralegal Space right away. Now, you can see here in Essential Skills, the material is broken down by segment, and you are going to work through that material by segment. So, for instance, you can see here the Segment A exam. We'll take that since that's the first one. Now, Segment A corresponds to a series of chapters in the books. You will focus on those particular chapters and do all of the work for those particular chapters, submit the assignments for them, and then take the exam for that particular segment. Then you will move on to the next segment, which again covers a separate set of chapters, and so on. So there are 6 segments which break down the material in your Essential Skills books. You will work through them segment by segment. Once you have submitted all of your work for each segment, you will take a final comprehensive exam for Essential Skills, and then, of course, your exams for your substantive classes. Now, resources. This is an area of the site where your instructor will post additional resources that he or she feel may be helpful to you or will be helpful to you as you are working through the materials in the program. It isn't the main area of study support, which I'm going to show to you in a second in the next series of slides. But again, it is an area where your instructors will post helpful materials to assist you as you are working through the program. Now, I should note, as soon as you're registered for the program and you get your Paralegal Space login information, I mentioned this briefly before, but you will be assigned an online instructor. Your instructors are practicing attorneys, and they will work with you as you are navigating through the program. Now, again, it is, of course, a self-paced program. The instructor is there to certainly assist you, answer your emails. They will arrange phone calls upon request. But of course, you are working through the materials at your own pace. When you submit your work, your instructor will, as I mentioned, pull it from the site, grade it, comment upon it, and return it back to you. But they are certainly there to work with you, to provide you feedback and guidance and answer any questions you may have. All right, now this is the study support that I have been mentioning before. Now you will find study support that tracks every one of the chapters in your essential skills books, but also the chapters in your substantive books, whichever substantive classes you choose to take. So what we recommend is that you read through the materials in your books and then work through the corresponding study support for those particular chapters. Now, the study support really does run the gamut. We have legal terminology, helping you learn about the foreign language of the law, because learning the law can be like learning a foreign language, and not just because there is a lot of Latin involved. But it definitely is a new way of thinking, a new way of speaking. You know, a lot of these terms you will have probably come into contact with just watching lawyer shows on TV or reading the paper, but some of the other stuff is going to be brand new to you. So, you know, certainly you want to work through all of the study support available to you on the site to get comfortable with this new language, again, for lack of a better word, and get comfortable using it in your legal writing and analyzing it. We also have paralegal perspectives. We have court structure. We have various demonstrations, charts, tools, so much more. We like to keep it interesting for you. We like to throw all sorts of different ways of learning into the study support, again, to assist you with these materials and navigating through them. Now, after you have finished a particular segment within Essential Skills, you will also have a whole series of practice quizzes and mock exams that you can work through to help you review the materials prior to taking the actual segment exam, and also to pinpoint any areas where you may need a little bit more help, where you may be experts already, but just to ensure that you understand the material in general, but also as you move into your particular segment exam. So we have practice quizzes where you will get instant gratification when it comes to what is the answer and why is that in fact the correct answer. And then when we get into the mock exams, you have the same thing where you will have the instant gratification of I am right or possibly I'm wrong. It happens. But then not only will you know whether you were right or wrong, and thankfully I was right on both of these questions right here, not only will you know whether you're right or you're wrong, but you will receive an explanation of why the correct answer is in fact the correct answer, and then an additional study link in the event you need more help with that particular area of law, and a reference of where you can find this information in your books. So the mock exams, the practice quizzes and such, those don't count towards your grade. Those are just there to help you review, again, to ensure that you understand the material, but they are a really wonderful component and very beneficial in working through all of the materials. Now, the support does build upon what you are reading in the book. It does enhance it. it is incredibly, incredibly helpful. So we do require that the students log a certain number of hours in the online program working through the support to ensure that you are making the most of the materials available to you and that you are getting everything out of the program that you can. Now, we do find that the students who regularly work through all of the support, all of the practice quizzes, mock exams, etc., are those who do the best in the program. So it is there for you. You, of course, get out of the program what you put into it, but there are so many resources available to you on Paralegal Space to assist as you are working the program. Then just a couple other little things that we have for you. We have a where you've been section. You can keep track of where you've been within the support. When you have not been somewhere, when you have not worked through particular support, you will find a little red dot next to that support. When you have been somewhere, and I've only been one place here, but that's okay. When you have been somewhere, you will see a little green dot. Now this is just convenience for the students to keep track of where you've been and to ensure that you have worked through everything within a particular segment. Now, in addition to the support that we have that tracks the chapters in each one of your essential skills books and your substantive books, we do have a couple other tutorials and labs on Paralegal Space for you. The first one is the Law Library Lab, and this is not an area of the site where you can do actual searchable research as you would in a brick and mortar law library or on Westlaw or Lexis, the two main legal databases that you will have access to. But it is an area of the site where you can familiarize yourself with the types of materials you will find in an actual law library or online. So to work through the law library, basically what you do is you would just click on one of the books in the stacks, and then that book will open up. And over here on the right-hand side, you can learn everything you ever wanted to learn about these particular materials and then some. The best way to find what you need to find, do you start in a table of contents? Do you start in an index? Where do you find what you need? And then also how these materials can be used in your legal writing. I've been talking about Westlaw and Lexis a lot today, so Westlaw, one of the two main legal databases along with Lexis. You have access to both of them for the duration of the program. Westlaw and Lexis in practice, if you're working in a law firm or at a corporation, are very, very expensive. And so you will find that attorneys only have one or the other. You really don't know what you're going to get when you're out in practice. So you will have access to both of them, so you can navigate on both and become comfortable in both of them. They are substantially similar, but it is good to be skilled on both of those databases because, again, you just don't know what you're going to get in practice. Now, also in practice, because the databases are so expensive, you want to ensure that you are an efficient researcher and get on Westlaw or Lexis, enter your search terms that will bring up authority, cases, statutes, secondary authority that is going to be helpful to you in your legal writing and helpful to your client in his or her arguments, and then get off the site as quickly as possible. In practice, while the clock is ticking on Westlaw or Lexis, the dollar signs are going up. That is not happening in the paralegal program. You can stay logged on to Westlaw and Lexis for as long as you want. This is your opportunity to get comfortable in both databases and figure out the best way to research on them. Again, efficiency in research is incredibly important in general, but it's an incredibly valued skill in a paralegal. You'll find that when you are searching for cases on Westlaw or Lexis, and you're entering search terms, say you're working on an automobile accident case and you need to find some cases to support a brief or a motion that you're writing. If you were to enter as search terms automobile accident, negligence, injuries, either database would come back to you and say, we can't even formulate this request because you need to sort of hone in on your search terms a little more. Just too many cases are going to come up for you. Or they're going to come back and say, here are 1,000,000+ cases that you can start taking a look at. Please enjoy. Oops, sorry. So you definitely do want to again, I keep using the word efficient, but an efficient paralegal researcher is absolutely a wonderful asset to a law firm or a legal department. And again, while you are working in the paralegal program, this is absolutely your opportunity to click around on these sites and get as comfortable as you can, as much as you want. Both of the sites also have amazing tutorials on both of them. So we do recommend that students work through the tutorials and take a look. They have little videos, researching statute videos, things like that. But they have amazing educational resources that we do encourage students to work through to assist you get comfortable and assist you with your legal research. Now, we've been looking at this Westlaw slide for a while. The Lexis slide is substantially similar. It's our login page, but they are both wonderful resources for research. And again, it is very helpful to have access to both of them for the duration of the program, so you are comfortable with both of them. Now, in addition to the Law Library Lab, we also have a writing lab for students. There really is no reinventing the wheel in the law when it comes to preparing pleadings and documents and filings and motions and such. So just using, again, a car accident case, that's always my favorite example. I'm not sure why, but just using a car accident case as an example again, if I drafted a summons, depending upon where I am, a summons and petition, a summons and complaint for a car accident case 6 months ago, and a new car accident case comes into my office, I'm not going to start from scratch. I'm going to take that old summons and complaint, summons and petition. I am going to take out the old facts, put in the new, and have a nice draft to show to my attorney and for filing. So with that in mind, you will find templates for all of the documents that you will prepare for the program. We also have additional templates that we post for students in the resources tab that I showed you earlier on the site, but here in the Interactive Writing Lab you will find templates for the documents as well. Now, while you are working through the Writing Lab, what you'll do is you'll click on a particular document over here in the first drop-down box, and you can listen to an audio lecture about that document. And then in the second one, you can take a look at a step-by-step guide of the various components that you need to include in your document. So it's very helpful in your legal writing always to look at templates, both the templates online. Once you get comfortable in Westlaw and Lexis, you can take a look at various filings and templates that you find on those databases, but it's always very helpful to start somewhere. So we make that easy for you on Paralegal Space. All right, let's talk about the Paralegal Outlook a little bit and then get into registration information, where we will bring Vina back into play. Paralegal assistant, one of the top 200 jobs of 2016. Now, paralegals can do really almost everything that an associate attorney or a young lawyer can do, but for, of course, advising clients and going to court. But the legal writing, the legal research, meeting with clients, file work, things like that are all wonderful areas for paralegals. And paralegals can be very, very helpful and very efficient in law firms in taking on those areas and doing that particular work. The median income, for the most part, around $50,000 starting salary. It obviously, of course, depends upon what kind of firm really you end up at. If you're working for my best example is a large Wall Street type firm. There's going to be more money in the coffers, of course, for the attorneys, for the paralegals, for the staff than there would be if you were working for a solo practitioner. But definitely the job satisfaction, work environment, and also the hiring outlook, which we're going to talk about on the next slide, are very high for paralegals. Now, U.S. News and World Report has set out the Bureau of Labor Statistics estimate, which projects that there is 8% employment growth for paralegals between 2014 and 2024. Now, this is actually a fairly good rate of growth. The rate of growth in general for jobs and issues with the economy back in, I have to stop using this line because it's going so far back already, but back in 2009, when the economy really started to crash, that's when there were, of course, issues with attorneys being able to keep up with the high salaries of, or law firms being able to keep up with the high salaries of their attorneys, and that's when they started bringing in a lot of paralegals. So the growth in this industry has been very steady over the years, and this is a very good rate of growth, which will add almost, well, just over 20, I don't want to say almost 22,000 positions, but just over 21,000 positions, because certainly back then when law firms started to see how paralegals could fairly easily step into the shoes of attorneys, again, but for advising clients and going to court. It definitely became a much more cost-effective and efficient route for law firms to take to bring in paralegals. And then again, just going to the pay again, the average paralegal pay versus other best jobs. Paralegal is right in the middle there. So it's under lawyer, of course, but you know, you can see where the paralegal comes into play and where the paralegal salary comes into play as stacked against other good jobs according to U.S. News and World Report. Okay, I think we're going to get into registration now. So Veena, even though I muted you, I think I hear you in the background a little bit. So are you? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. All right.
So hello everyone. My name is Veena Horsur, and I am the online paralegal program coordinator here at the University of Texas at Austin. Let me give you some information about registration and prerequisites. For this program, all we need is a high school diploma and basic word processing and internet access skills. Let me see if I can you, I don't know if we can, okay, I can forward the slides, all right. So we are continuing education unit, and this is a certificate program, so you do not have to go through the formal process of getting admitted to the university, or it's open enrollment, and students can register at any time. And I think Stephanie has talked to you about the format of the course, so I don't have to go in detail about it, just a core course, and you get 2 electives. And you have 1 year to complete the program, and she has also talked to you about the grades, now let me talk to you about the tuition. So the cost of the program is $6,495 plus approximately $600 for the books. But I think the book for the Essential Skills for Paralegals, Stephanie, does that cost about $300?
Yes, I'll take over. I'll take over for the books for a second, Veena. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the Essential Skills book is a required purchase through the program because it not only includes the books, but it does include your instructor access, your online access, your Westlaw and Lexis codes. So with shipping, it comes to something around $330, $350, somewhere in that neighborhood. For your substantive books, you may order those from wherever you would like. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, new, used. You can rent them, which is a great option that students are relying upon a lot these days. You can rent a textbook for something like $30 for 3 months. So Nook and Kindle editions as well. So there are various ways for you to purchase your substantive books, but the essentials books are a required purchase through the program. Before we get back to you, Veena, we have one other slide in between this slide and the financing slide, so I do just want to mention that briefly as well. In addition to the online paralegal certificate program, we also offer online specialist programs. So this is a kind of akin to choosing a major in college, really for lack of a better way to put it. But the specialist programs do cover areas of law that are not covered in the certificate program. And if you were to find yourself, say, working in an immigration law firm and you wanted some specific knowledge in immigration law, say an immigration specialist would be the way for you to go. Now you can see here we have the list of specialist programs that are offered at University of Texas. Each one consists of 2 required courses and 1 elective, and for each one of those courses you will submit 2 writing assignments and take a final exam. Now the specialist courses are for those students who do have some baseline legal knowledge already. So if you already have a paralegal certificate, if you have a degree in paralegal studies, if you have a degree in a bachelor or an associate degree and then proof of employment as a paralegal for the past 5 years, then you would qualify for one of the specialist programs. Just like the online program, they're open entry, self-paced, so you can register at any time. You will be assigned an attorney instructor to guide you through the program, and you will have 6 months to complete the specialist program. Tuition for the specialist is $19.95, also plus books. And all of those books for the specialist can be purchased, again, via Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever you would like. All right, Vina, now I'm going to throw it back to you because now we're going to get into financing. So now it's all you.
Okay. So if you have attended the info session today and if you register, you get a $150 discount for attending the info session. All right.
Oh, I think we have just, I don't know if we have, hang on a second.
Oh. No, I think it went too far.
Did I go too far? I don't know if we, you know what, I don't know if we have financing, how did we not put financing information in here? Well,
it's okay, I'll explain to them. Give me a second.
All right, sorry everybody, and sorry Vina.
No worries. And what I'm going to do is after when I send you, I'll send you another email which will have all the details about the payment plan and all the registration forms attached. So you will have that. But just let me give you an overview. So we do not have a financial aid option here because we are continuing education and this is not a college credit program. It is a certificate program, so we are not qualified for financial aid. But we do have a payment plan option, okay? So the way the payment plan works is at the time of registration, you pay 30% down plus a $125 installment fee. So that is due at the time of registration. And the remaining amount is split into 2 installments and you paid the consecutive months. So for example, just to make it more clear, say you are registering today in the month of March. So the 30% of the total cost of the program plus the $125 installment fee is due at the time of registration. Now the remaining amount, the balance, is split into 2 installments. The first installment will be due in April and the second installment will be due in May. So that's the payment plan. And if you are registering using the payment plan option, then you need to fill a registration form and a promissory note and email it to the registrar. But if you are paying it in full, then all you need to do is go to our website, click on Add to Cart, check out, and follow the directions, and you'll be registered. So basically, 2 methods of registration. Registration by paying in full, just go to the website, click on Add to Cart, check out, and follow the directions. And then registering with the help of payment plan, 30% due is plus $125 is due at the time of registration. Remaining amount is paid in 2 installments, and then you fill in the registration form and the promissory note and email it to the registrar. And all this stuff, exactly how much you need to pay, the breakdown of the fees, the first installment, I will email it to you. I have your email addresses and I'll email them to you. All right. And yeah, for the classroom program, I mean, you see my contact there on the screen. My number is 4712354 and the email address cpeonline@austin.utexas.edu. So please feel free to ask me any questions you have about registration or about the program, and I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Now
Right.
that brings us to the end of our sort of formal presentation. If anybody has any questions, do please feel free to start typing them into the questions box on your GoToWebinar toolbar. Again, they will pop up on my screen and I will read them out loud, and either Veena or I will handle it. Again, my apologies to you, Veena, and to also all of our participants today. I clearly got a little crazy as I was working on the PowerPoints yesterday and completely lost that financing PowerPoint. So my apologies for that. But as Veena
No,
said,
no.
she will follow up with you in
Yeah.
regard to any sort of financing information, a registration and such, and I will let her know who is in attendance today, so she makes sure that she can cover and follow up with each one of you. As far as registration, Veena, can you also send out information about registration with instructions, or is there an area of the site that you can direct students to where they can find information about registration?
You mean like for the course?
Yes, registering for the program, yes.
Yeah, I will be sending all the links and the forms, all that stuff. So everything will be there in the email. And I'll also send them a recording of the program in case they want to go back and revise or know something. So when you send me the recording, I'll send that too.
Yes.
So they'll have the link, they'll have the forms, they'll have everything.
Now, is this certification good in states in addition to Texas? We have been asked. Now, there's no official. Let me step back for a second. Like attorneys in particular states have to be admitted to the bar of that state in order to practice law, there is no formal certification in states for paralegals at this time. Different states have different little rules here and there. But there's no formal certification or formal sort of licensing process for paralegals to learn or to have in a particular state. The certification that you are going to receive from the University of Texas is essentially a certification of your paralegal education. You can be a paralegal wherever you would like. You will learn the transferable skills that you can take to any state. And that is basically what the certification is. But you can be a paralegal in any state with your University of Texas at Austin paralegal certificate. Now you said that, yes, we said that the paralegal course, you have 1 year to complete it, but can it be completed in less time than that? Yes, of course it can. Again, it's self-paced, so you fit all of your work in when you can in your schedule. If you would like to complete it in less time than 1 year, that is certainly able to be done. I wouldn't recommend that you take a real short amount of time to complete the program, because you want to make sure that you understand all the materials and work through everything and submit good work and do well. But it absolutely can be completed in less than 1 year. All right, any further questions? Could you take more than one specialty course? As far as the specialist courses are concerned, yes, you can take as many specialist courses as you would like. I think that we would probably recommend that you focus on one at a time and finish the one specialist and then move on to the next one. But you can certainly register, assuming you have the prerequisites to register for a specialist, you can certainly take as many of them as you would like. And again, you have 6 months to complete each one of the online specialists. So I say we recommend that you take one at a time, just so you're not, overwhelming yourself and trying to fit too much in that short period of time. For the specialist program, the 2 required courses and the 1 elective, it really depends on what specialist you are taking or you would like to take. Each one is a little bit different. So hang on a second. Let me just, and of course I don't know them off the top of my head. So I'm just going to pull one up and give you an example. Just so you know, hang on one second. So for instance, if you were interested in taking the bankruptcy specialist program, the 2 required courses would be bankruptcy law and constitutional law. And then your choice of electives include, hang on. Your choice of electives, and these are choices for each one of the specialists. Elective for each one of the specialists include e-discovery, accounting and tax principles, laws of evidence, family law, real estate law, legal ethics, or advanced legal research. So the electives apply to each one of the specialists. So for whatever specialist you would decide to take, you could take any one of those particular electives. But for each particular specialist, the required courses do are changed up. So again, I just mentioned bankruptcy law is bankruptcy and constitutional law. If we were to go into contract law, the specialist requirements would be contract law and business law. And someone just asked a good question. If you study contract law during the certificate program, does the specialist program on contract law provide additional depth of study? The specialist program for contract law would utilize the same book that is utilized in the certificate program. The assignments and the exams would have a little bit more depth of coverage, but basically if there's a student who is registered for a specialist program and they've already taken one of the required classes in that program, he or she will work with the instructor to determine an appropriate alternate course for that specialist. Is it common for people who work full-time to take this course? Yes, absolutely. We have all sorts of people take the program. Career changers, people who are already working in the law in a law firm or a legal department, folks who are contemplating law school but may want to get a sense of whether they like the law before making that 3-year law school commitment. Definitely want to make sure you like the law before you go to law school. So yes, we absolutely have people who work full-time take the course. It really depends on on your schedule and how you pace yourself and how you fit the materials and your study time into your regular 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 or 10 to 10, whatever your schedule is. Yeah, I took self-paced psychology when I was in college and it was a disaster. I could not pace myself. So certainly when when you have a hectic schedule and you do have a lot to fit into any given day, you do need to set up some structure and some routine. But we absolutely have lots of students who are working full-time and who are also taking the program. Is this a new program or a one-time special program, or will this be available next year as well? We are here, so if you are not ready to take the program at this time, you want to think about it a little bit more, yes, we will be around next year as well, so please get back to us. Okay, anybody else? Give everybody an opportunity to type some questions in. I know typing isn't the easiest thing or best case scenario to ask questions, but again, I have done these webinars where audio was turned on and wow, could nobody hear anybody else? So it just is a very, very sensitive system. So this is definitely the easiest way to just hone in on the presentation and be able to ask and answer the questions. Vina, as we wait for additional questions to possibly come in, do you have any final words or final thoughts you would like to share with our participants today?
I just want to say thank you all for coming today, and This is a great program. We have had excellent feedback from our students. We have great instructors who have been practicing law, and they work with our students one-on-one. They're always there for them. Tammy and Margaret Pickard, Tammy Clearfield and Margaret Pickard. They are really great instructors, and after the students have completed the program, I hear great feedback from them about the instructors. So this is a great program to be in, and I'm sure you'll have a great experience. So if you need anything else in particular, please feel free to email me, and I'm always there here to answer any questions you have. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
Those were really beautiful final thoughts, Veena. I honestly have nothing to add to that. And since I don't see that we have any further questions that are coming in, I guess we will call it a day. Oh, we have one more question coming in. Don't be sorry. Ask your question. That's why we're here. As we're waiting for the question to come in, I will say that oftentimes the most important question that you want to ask is the one that you remember after we have logged off for the webinar. So that's okay. If you have any follow-up questions, please do feel free to reach out to Veena. You see you have her contact information right here, and Veena will be happy to answer your question. If it's a question better suited for me, she will pass it along to me, and I will be happy to assist you as well. But don't think once we log off, you can't ask anything else. You absolutely can. Our final question, what are the courses for the employment specialist course? They are employment law and administrative law. Those are the two required classes. And then that list of electives, one of the electives that, that I read out loud before. All right, I think that, I think that we should be good then for our webinar today. Again, any follow-up questions, please do feel free to reach out to Veena. We do thank you very much for your interest, for being here with us this afternoon, probably during your lunchtime. So thank you for spending that with us. And thank you for your good questions. And we hope to see your names on rosters, and I can't say faces in classroom, but your names online too, and then hopefully faces one day. But hope to see you online. And again, thank you so much for being here. And Veena, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate your help as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecily.
All right, everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.